All right, this week on Tech Tip Happy Hour, we are talking about mobility. So what does this mean? Mobility is the ability for you or your employees or your team to work from anywhere. So you could be on the beach, you could be on vacation, you could be at your house, you could be on a boat. So you want to be able to make sure that you have access, control, and security throughout any of these environments. So over the past year and a half, 2 years with the pandemic issues, we've seen many companies moving towards solutions that enable them and their employees to work from pretty much anywhere as long as they have access. When we talk about access, so obviously you need network access. You got to have internet access via your cell phone or Wi-Fi or public Wi-Fi in a hotel or something like that. So you have to be able to access. And then the second is you have to be able to make sure that you can, on the other end, access what you need to. So most of us now have email and our calendar on our phone. That's pretty standard now. But do you have access to your company data? So can you access, client files, sales information, order information, or be able to place orders from your phone? And then once you have access to the data, you need to make sure that you have access to the application. So it may be your accounting software, your CRM software, your purchasing software. Do you have access to all that stuff remotely from outside the office? And then the last thing, once you have access and you can get the stuff you need to get, is all of it done in a controlled environment. So we've talked before about making sure that devices at home or personal devices that are accessing company data are protected. So easy ways to do this is to just make sure that you have the right, antivirus and endpoint protection on those devices. You also have the ability to call back any company data that gets on them. And you also have policies and procedures in place that employees can't copy and paste data out of those applications into their personal devices. So you want to make sure that you're not making your risk level higher by enabling this access from outside the office. When we talk about mobility, you want to make sure that you have access to the information, you have access to the right information, and you're able to scale it to however many employees you may wind up having. So there's different scaling options. There's ability to cut licenses back and forth as you need them to make sure that your business can grow as needed. Since we're talking about mobility today and we're talking about you being anywhere, we're making a drink that's called Home on the Range. So we're going to take our shaker glass here and we're going to start with 1 ounce of bourbon. Today we're using Kinsey's bourbon. Got 1 ounce of bourbon here. And then we're going to have 1 ounce of red Dibonnet, I believe is how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, somebody can let me know. It's basically some spiced wine here. Half an ounce of your favorite orange liqueur. And we're going to have a dash of bitters here. All right, and we are going to just stir this in this cocktail glass. We're not going to shake it. And then we are going to strain this glass here. Garnish it with a little orange, and that is Home on the Range. All right, guys, and we'll see you next week.